Howdy ho, gang. Welcome to another Titan Tuesday. As I kick the dadgum fan out of the way, that was almost a good transition until that silly fan shenanigans. Anyway, welcome to Titan Tuesday, guys. I'm Brian, not so sweaty Brian. If you watched the previous video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you didn't, go back, watch that video. Like I said, you'll see it's gross. So what you guys have going on today is you're hanging out with me here at the Titanium Training Studios. We're going to talk about your workout protocol for today. In all of our videos, the first half, so it's like, or not the first half, that's silly. So the first couple of minutes I sit and I explain how the protocols work, reps, sets, exercises, things like that. And then I slide you guys to the other side of the room, and at that point in time we discuss exercises and variations, both progressive and regressive, in order to help you get a better workout and actually feel like the workout is more accommodated to you as best as humanly possible. So with that being said, let's talk about all the fun things that we normally talk about during the first part of your video here. Let's go 2 sections of regular resistance work, and then you have a small section here at the bottom where you get a little bit of cardiovascular, a little bit of metabolic challenge, so on and so forth. Add other scientific terms in here to get your heart rate up, basically. So what you have first, you have 3 exercises. You're gonna do 4 rounds of everything, and then you'll have 1 more round of that top exercise. As we discussed in some of our previous videos as well, we always have 1 focus exercise in each section and then 2 accessory in each section. This way, in the first part of the week, what you're gonna get is you're gonna get resistance accessory, and then you're gonna get a little bit of cardio push, and then as the week goes on, we start to escalate that just a little bit. Because the biggest thing is I want to make sure you guys get a bunch of strength in the beginning, and then like I said, as you start getting better, your core gets stronger, feel a little bit better, then at that point we can start escalating into more of a metabolic challenge. The first section, just like the second section, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 of your exercises, and then 1 more time with that first exercise. And then you go to the bottom section. And the bottom section is our little metabolic challenge, which you guys are going to do, get the heart rate up, get a little extra sweaty. You got 2 exercises, it's 2 rounds worth of work, 45 seconds work with a 15-second break. And that's it for the front end of the video. Let's whip this camera around like we do in all of our other videos, go to the other side of the room, and then take a journey down exercise lane. All right, guys, now that we've explored the expanse of my knowledge when it comes to exercise writing and all that fun stuff, let's actually show you what you should be doing. So this way you have a better idea rather than me just telling you and then making you move on. So in the first section of exercise, you have 3 exercises. Your first exercise is a 3-point row. So let me grab a bench here real fast, and then I'll get on that. So goodness gracious, here's what we're doing. So with your 3-point row, the premise of this is you have 3 points of contact. So the first 2 points are your feet, and then the 3rd point is your hand. So what you're going to do with your hand is you're going to place it on a chair or on a bench, getting yourself in the flat back position. Squeeze. Now you don't have to necessarily squeeze your stomach at this point, because the idea is with the 3 points, you're doing most of the stability work for your body. And then from there, what you're going to do is you're just going to start here, and then you're going to bring your hand to your hip, and then back down. Hand to the hip, and then back down, squeezing that shoulder blade in the back. You're going to do 5 on one side, switch it out, 5 on the other side. Now, if it is too hard, if it's too difficult to do it with the weight, that's okay. Just go through the motion without actually doing the weight and just focus on the muscles that need to be squeezed. So for that exercise, the muscle that needs to be squeezed is the shoulder, or the shoulder, sorry, not the shoulder, but the shoulder blade in the back part of your body. So as you're pulling, you're focusing on squeezing that muscle and then letting it back down. Back, squeeze the muscle, and then letting it back down. So this way, what you do is you actually create a stronger mind-muscle connection. So as you continue down the road, you'll know better how this is supposed to feel, where you're supposed to feel it, and how much or how intense it's supposed to be. The next thing you guys are doing after that, so like I said, with or without weight, it's completely up to you and your specific level. The next thing that you guys have is the bicep curl. So I'm going to show you without weight. And once again, it's the same thing. We're gonna try and create more of that mind-muscle connection there. So you guys, like I said, even when you're not using weight, you're still gonna get something out of it because you're at least connecting to the body part that you're attempting to work. So, with or without weight, completely up to you. So you're gonna start with your thumbs out, palms up, shoulders back and down. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna up and squeeze and down and release. And up and squeeze and down and release. And then that is going to be the bicep curl. Like I said, if you want to do it with weight, awesome. Do the same exact thing. Up and squeeze and then down and release. And then what you're going to do is get a little bit of extra contraction out of it because of whatever piece of resistance that you use. You can use dumbbells, you can use kettlebells, you can use rubber bands, you can use kitchen bags full of fun groceries, you can do like a book bag, or you can do a suitcase. That's completely up to you, whatever you use. Just use what you have around the house. So, with that, let's talk about the third exercise, which is the glute bridge. So, today's glute bridge, I'm going to show you guys how to do it from the bench. I really want to kind of get us a little bit more up off the ground, or as much off the ground as we possibly can. So, the first thing that you guys have, like I said, is the glute bridge. So the idea, let's see if we can get the right angle here. I'm sure it's a pretty decent angle. So what you're going to do, sitting down on the bench, what you're going to do from here is essentially you're going to get it to where is basically your shoulder blades and your arms are on the bench, and your feet, look at that, little tummy tum for you guys. Enjoy that tummy tum. So what you're going to do here is then you're going to let yourself down, so that putting those with your butt, not necessarily all the way to the ground, so you're not like sitting all the way down. And then what you're going to do from here is you're going to bring your feet a little bit closer. Awesome. And then what you're doing is you're going to push your hips up, squeeze your butt, and then let your hips back down. Push your hips up, squeeze your butt, and then let yourself back down. You're going to do 12 of those. Now, if it's too hard, oof, goodness, to do that, that's okay. Here's what you're going to do. All right. So the next exercise that I would suggest if you can't do it from the bench is honestly to do it from the ground. I'm going to just strongly suggest that we try and do it from the bench because a little bit more elevation allows a little bit more down, so it allows a little bit more range of motion. That's the biggest reason. But if you have to do it from the ground, that's okay. Same thing, just push your hips up and then let your hips all the way back down to the ground. This one also can be done with or without weight. It's honestly completely up to you. I'm going to suggest no weight just for the mobility and the connection of that specific exercise. Now that we're done with section one, let's talk section number two. In section number two, same thing, 3 exercises. The first of your 3 exercises is the wall sit. Come with me. Coming with me so we can do wall sits. All right, cool. So, whoops, sorry. I apologize about that. So, wall sits. So, what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with your feet up against the wall. And then from here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a foot length step away from the wall. So yeah, my feet are kind of big, so I get to take an extra big step there. Yeah, size 15s, not fun. So what you're gonna do at this point, when you take that step away from the wall, then you're gonna put your butt on top of the wall, or put your butt up against it. And then from here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna sit down until your thighs reach parallel. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna look at your clock or set a timer, whatever it is you wanna do, and then you're gonna hold this for 30 seconds. So just hold, hold, hold until your 30 seconds is up, and then stand on it. Let's get back to the other side of the room, shall we? Let's go. All right. Thanks for coming with me, I appreciate it. Cool. You guys doing all right? Awesome. Okay, now that we're back from the other side of the room, and I actually wrote that down wrong in the video, but down below in the description, which I always have, every workout has a description down below so you know how to write it out and what the protocol and the order of operations is for that specific workout. So, once you guys have done the wall sit for 5 sets, or It's basically 30 seconds and then do the next exercise. You guys are gonna do the windmill. This can be done with or without weight, as always. So I'm gonna show you without weight. What you're going to do, feet between hip and shoulder width apart to start. And then what you're going to do is you're going to turn both of the feet just like that. Now, keeping your chest facing forward and your feet turned to the side, what you're going to do from here is the side that you're going to turn is also the hand that is going to either have the weight, or you're going to use this as an opportunity to stretch through the hip, pushing that hip backwards, keeping that chest forward, and then back up, down, and then back up. You're going to do 10 on one side, boom, boom, boom. Same thing, 10 on the other side. Make sure that hand that's going towards the ground stays inside of the leg here. So as you're bending down, just bend as far as you can bend and then stand back up. Now, if you need to, or if you want to, just to add a little extra resistance, you can always put a dumbbell or a kitchen bag or, excuse me, that was rude, eggs, yummy. Anyway, if you need to, you can always add some kind of resistance to that bottom hand. So if your feet turn to the right, the weight is going to be in your right hand. If you turn your feet to the left, the weight will be in your left hand. Just so you know. All right, and then the last thing you guys are going to be doing is crunches. You can do these on the ground, you can do these on the bench, you can do these on whatever. I'm going to show you from the bench. So, what you're going to do, here, let me move this over here just a little bit. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're just going to lay flat. So as you can see, or you can't see honestly, is both of my feet are firmly on the ground. Now what we're doing from here is we're going to squeeze the abdomen and roll the rib cage forward and then let it back down. Roll the rib cage forward, squeeze your stomach, and then let it back down. And just like that, you're going to do 20 crunches. Now these, honestly speaking, most people can do. If you can't do that, that's okay. There's always an alternate option, and that alternate option is, honestly, just do the ab crunch. I know you guys can do it. You guys are awesome. You guys are amazing people. Just keep going. You got it. Everybody can do an ab crunch. So, actually, honestly speaking, there is an alternate. If you can't do it while you're laying down, you can actually do it while you're standing up. And then what you're going to do is just cross your arms on your chest. Remember, just focus on squeezing the stomach, and then you're going to roll your rib cage in, squeeze the stomach, and then you're going to stand back up straight. You can actually do it from that position. I was just kidding. There's always an alternate. All right, now that you guys are done with the first 2 sections of exercise, let's talk about the finisher. So, what you guys are going to be doing today is finishing. With your finishing movements, it's always a metabolic thing, so you're always not, it's not even really metabolic. It's just to get the heart rate up, get you just a little bit sweaty, a little bit out of breath, to kind of help just really drive home the intensity of the workout. That's really all it's for. So the first thing we're doing is kicking that out of the way. The first thing that you're going to do is the mountain climber. You can do it from the bench or from the ground. Let's show you from the ground. So what you're going to do is you're just going to get into the push-up position here, and then you're just going to, one leg at a time, for 45 seconds, just like that. If you can't do from here, you can always do it from the bench, guys. So it's just putting your hands on the bench in the same position. Don't lose your balance. And then do it for 45 seconds there. The last thing you guys have are touchdown squats. Here's your first option. Out, down, up, and back in. Doing that for 45 seconds. Your second option was walking it out, and then walking it back in. Walk it out, and then walk it back in. And we finally made it, guys. Great job. You finally did it, you conquered it, you made it, you made it your punk, and you did a great job. Awesome sauce. High five to you guys. I'm Brian, this is Titanium Training LLC, Fort Walton Beach, Florida. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Go back into the video vault and look at our other workouts where we do the same thing. In the description, it shows you what to do, reps and sets. And then above that, in the video portion, I discuss reps and sets. I tell you exactly how to do the exercises. I give you alternates for everything. Like I said, go back, go forward, go to the left, go to the right, whatever you guys want to do. I love you anyway. Thank you so much for watching and enjoy the rest